Hello, everyone. In our last CEO conversation, we talked about strengthening your team and making sure there is enough white space in your calendar every single day. You might be asking me why. Because if your leaders come to you asking for your time in next 1 to 2 hours, it means they have tried, they have failed to solve the problem, and now they need to cut the queue, and therefore they are coming straight to you. That's when you know it's important. So I hope you have taken the time to think about your team and your availability for them. Now let's talk about the next pressure point, which is the quarterly and annual performance. If I take elite sport, the best coaches, if you see, don't pick the team for this week's headline. They build a team for next season's dynasty. Manchester United was one of that team. It was rebuilt, note the word rebuilt, around the youth system and a multi-year plan, which is having less noise and more compounding. And in business, we have seen leaders in the past like Unilever scrap their quarterly guidance and shifting their incentives to the long-term plan and explicitly inviting only those investors who share that pricing. That's what I call refusing to dance. So, is it really possible to convince institutional investors to play the long game? I believe it is. And the answer lies in a principle where we say that you have a right to do all the right action but not to its fruits. That's not anti-results, and that's what I call as pro-focus, where you do your duty, you do it with discipline, but detach from the market's mood. So as an aspiring CEO or one who is already in the chair, you need to ask yourself, is this role still aspirational? Is this role still desirable? Because we are trading through an ever-expanding list of different stakeholder expectations, while we are navigating and repivoting with unprecedented uncertainty, massive demographic shifts, powerful societal megatrends, and a completely unpredictable technological leaps that we are seeing in the market. Now, in this world, a CEO must lead with what I call a drumbeat management system. That means knowing exactly where to inject your energy into the organization. Let me break it down. First, you need to ask yourself that am I creating that force? That concentrated absolute focus across P&L expense and capital investment is of paramount importance. Second, am I creating enough capacity, the space for my people to not only fight anxiety but also fatigue? Third, most importantly, am I driving that accountability? Because this will foster transparency, mutual responsibility, and genuine enthusiasm as a whole. Here's how is it looking in practice. Let's take few examples. Suppose you are publishing an anti-guidance charter, right? So you are replacing your quarterly EPS guidance with a long-term value letter in each quarter with customer outcomes, product learnings, durability of cash flows, talent bench, and capital allocation rules, right? Or you might probably hold a customer outcomes call every quarter where you invite your top 5 clients, your partners, your employees to talk about the value that you have realized, right? No stock talk, just where you have got the problem solved. Show the world what you are optimizing for, right? And we must fight this trap of becoming overly inward looking, because if you look at startups, they obsess over competitors and customers. Now, if you look at large organizations, they are getting stuck in endless, I'll say, internal process debates. Now, the real challenge is to balance both of them to be effective and efficient with your teams, your customers, your markets, and your own life. Now, why I mentioned life? Because here's the truth. If you don't invest in yourself means you, your sleep, your exercise, your renewal, you'll burn out. And when you burn out, you can't lead. That's very simple, right? Now, the future demands CEO who are present, who are resilient, who are purpose driven, and that starts with you. Now, we also need to think that we run training cycles, right? We are not running a panic cycles. We are looking at micro, we are looking at meso, we are looking at macro environment, and we show up, we do our duties, we let the compounding game. This is our long game, and that should be our long game. We should be measured by the value we create for our customers and for the world, and let the market take its own time to catch up. So you might be thinking, what are those 10 CEO moves that almost no one is doing? That's for my next video. Until then, keep removing, keep reducing, and yes, most importantly, keep mitigating the obstacles. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.